Want to get your hands on some sports cards?
Hell yes!
You're in the right place.
Good morning.
Is everybody ready?
Welcome to the weekly Target Watch on Schultzy's Card Pull.
What's going on, sports fans? Welcome on in. It is early on a Tuesday. How's everybody doing this morning, huh? How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is as excited as I am for the potential. That's right, the potential to score sports cards from Target.com. It was a fat stock last week. I did not score myself, but a lot of people did score a ton of Donruss Optic Mega Boxes, Donruss Optic Blaster Boxes, a ton of stuff as well, you guys. Yeah, well, we've got a ton of good stuff, hopefully on the site again this week. Hopefully. Hope everybody is doing as good as you could be this morning. I know a lot of people don't really expect there to be a drop today, but hey, you never know. They could change it up. And we have been hearing some people saying that some cook groups are saying that there's going to be another week skipped on Target.com. Some people saying that cook groups are saying, hey, there is going to be a drop for sure. So it's kind of like up in the air this week. Inside sources telling me there isn't going to be a drop, and then other people now saying that there is going to be a drop. So you know what? I'm going to stream, and we're going to hopefully just sit here and wait for Target to drop some stuff on the back end. Hope you all doing well. Easy, good morning to you. Hope all is well with you also. Tommy Rodriguez, good morning. Schultzy, how are you, man? Good to see everybody in the chat this morning. Thank you all so much for being here so early. I know that it is just early. Too early for the West Coasties, that's for sure. And sorry, guys, I don't have the chocolate milk this morning. I do have that radioactive yellow pea there. It's known as Gatorade, which it tastes great, but on camera just looks really weird. I mean, every game that you see people drinking that stuff, you're like, oh my gosh. It looks better when it's like purple or like fruit punch colored or anything like that. But hey, lemon lime's good. Let me some Gatorade. The chocolate milk is just a little filling sometimes. So some days got to skip that and make sure that I stay healthy. So can't just be shoving whole milk down my gullet every single day. Brian Lawhorn, good morning, playa. Told you about the Chiefs. Yeah, dude, the Chiefs are definitely having, the last 3 games have been absolutely terrible for them. They do not look like the same team that they did last year. Although, I'm not surprised. And it's funny, Brian, it's like, oh, good morning, player. Told you about the Chiefs. Yes, usually the team that has a bad year following a Super Bowl performance, historically, that's been pretty common. However, I don't know. The Patriots winning as many Super Bowls as they did for a while with Tom Brady. They didn't have every single bad year as a follow-up year to a Super Bowl appearance, that's for sure. So there are definitely some statistics that break that mold, but Brian, you are not wrong about the Chiefs for sure. Good morning to all y'all. CyberX Sports Cards and Collectibles. What's going on, man? Good morning to everybody. And that's right, the hot zone just about 90 seconds away. Tuali says, Chiefs are in trouble? Quite possibly. I don't know, man. If Pat Mahomes doesn't play for a couple of weeks, then they really are in trouble. I haven't seen the injury report, to be honest, after this weekend, but he did go out at the end of that game. Pat Mahomes did, when they were already down by a lot. I mean, it just sucks when you lose a quarterback like that, especially even though he's not playing as well. One as valuable as Pat Mahomes, one as the ability to have that he can change the game on a dime as much as Pat Mahomes can. When you see an impact player, an MVP like that, go down in garbage time, man, it's just not good for sports. It's not good for the fan. It's not good for the team. It's not good for the opponent. It's not good for anybody. Good hot dog at you this morning. Morning to you, man. Hope everybody is having a great one. Like I always say, hope everybody is doing as well as they possibly can getting up this early. We are just a few seconds away from the hot zone starting here on Schultzy's Card Pulls, you guys. Like I said, a ton of stuff available last week. Really quickly before we kind of just talk about what's going on in the world of sports and what's going on Target.com. I show you what we had on Target.com last week, and you see a ton of Optic Basketball Megas, Optic Basketball Blasters, and then, of course, the Chronicles Basketball, which we still see up on the site right now. And then also the Optic Basketball Fat Packs, Donruss Football Fat Packs, Donruss Football Hangers, Optic Baseball, which is also still up on the site, and then those Donruss Football Sets. Tons of stuff, you guys. I mean, literally, look at that. We're looking at like 10 products. That's pretty crazy. Brian Lawhorn says, my Raiders will win the AFC West. Book it. Book it. Book it. Yeah, it was a crazy weekend of football this weekend, you guys. And make sure, help me out. Smash that like button. Helps me feed 2 kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Really appreciate that, everybody. STDD Beast has just got another Fat Pad box. He's talking Don Russ football. And we are in the hot zone, you guys. I love it. Brian says the hot zone is now. David, good morning to you, too. And honestly, you guys, we have a few less people here than normal, so it's a great time to ask any questions about Target.com. I do apologize. I try to keep up with the chat, but sometimes it is just flying by so fast with so many people here at some points that I miss your questions about red cards or accounts or logging in to Target.com or making sure that you're not locked out, which, to be perfectly honest, I think my account has been flagged. But hopefully after last week, hopefully we solved that problem, because I had to reset my password 3 times during the drop last week. So obviously my account was flagged and they gave me like a reset. And a couple other people also gave me some really nice instructions on how to help identify my account as real and not like a bot or like just an electronic account set up as an extra by somebody that's just trying to score extra cards. So hopefully that stuff works. Hopefully that stuff works for me. Game Day Legends says, hope they drop more Optic Fat Packs. Blue Velocities are so sick looking. Man, I would love to get my hands on some Optic Fat Packs. I have not been able to see any near me, unfortunately. It just sucks, man. It's like my chances of getting Optic have been super, super minimal. And thankfully, like Auto Gods, he's going to let me buy one of his Target mega boxes of Optic Basketball at retail cost. I don't know what I'd do without that. I really appreciate him, because that's basically the one box that I've been able to get on my own for Optic Basketball this year. It has just been hard to find, and there have been no fat packs. Obviously, we've seen some on Target.com, but there have been no fat packs near me. It's been crazy. And I know that the last week, it wasn't just like near me that Optic was lacking. I'm not trying to complain and stuff. It's in the Discord. It's pretty cool. Go check it out below, you guys. I got a link to the free Discord that I have for Schultzy's card pulls. It's just a nice community. All the same people here in the morning, basically hanging out all week and talking sports cards and other things, Pokemon. I mean, all kinds of different chats available and ways to discuss exactly what you're passionate about. And seeing all the pictures of all of the Walmart stocks, it's actually pretty cool, because there are a ton of people that live all over the country, so you can kind of see what has been happening in Walmarts and Myers all week around the country, and no Optic all week. That was really hard to see. There was some Optic, but really not a lot. It was like a few locations that had no limits got a lot of that Optic, like the first week or the early days that Optic was available on the shelves, and then all of a sudden, after appearing sparingly at other stores for 1 week delivery, it goes away, at least for a week at Walmart. Curtis Borges, his first time, explained the red card. So basically, the red card, you guys, is Target.com's store credit card, or you can get it as a debit card. So you don't have to get a credit card, and it's super easy, super cool. What you do is you apply for a debit card, and it's an instant process as far as the debit goes. Credit, it is a little bit more arduous, and you have to, offer up some information, and they do ding your credit score every time you run a credit check. I don't know if you guys know about your credit score, but it's important if you're trying to get a house, trying to get cars, or hold financial status in this current world. But a debit card application doesn't do that. So I would recommend, basically, it's Target's way of getting you to spend money with them. And you get 5% off, not only of sports cards, but of every product that Target sells and that you buy through their website or their store. So I think the debit card is a good way to go. So I would apply for that, and you have to apply for that if you want any chance of getting all the premium stuff. We're talking any of the Optic that I was talking about, the Don Russ, I think the Don Russ hanger boxes and the Don Russ full team boxes were the full set boxes were red card exclusives last week. I mean, almost everything except like Chronicles basketball last week was a red card exclusive. So unfortunately, you really have to have a Target red card, which I know some people say it's ridiculous. You have to get one more thing, and I agree. But you do have to have that to get the premium products on Target.com. And if you're coming into the holidays, if you're going to want any chance at getting like Mosaic and Optic football, Prism basketball for next season, Prism football for this season, the premium stuff, you are going to have a red card. No ifs, ands, or buts, going to have to. Brian Lawhorn says at my Walmart, my boy let me go through 11 MJ holding boxes and everything but Optic basketball. See, Brian, that's crazy. It's like there really was not any sent out this week, or this last week, excuse me. It's like I heard some people kind of accusing Walmart of like backdooring and people just holding on to all the Optic boxes, but it sounds like nobody really got any Optic boxes unless every single store was backdooring them. Maui Card King, what's going on, man? Hey, guys, I am headed to Hawaii tomorrow, by the way. Anybody in Honolulu in the chat, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM in Discord. I would absolutely love to ask a couple of questions about the card scene there. Target debit won't let me buy anything above $40. They ghost limit you randomly, says Akashic Records. Well, that's really weird, and I would think that you'd have to call customer service to get that fixed then. That is super annoying. That is super limiting, and just another thing that they're doing, holding people back that are just manual users trying to buy sports cards. That's been a super frustrating thing, you guys, is you don't see... I understand the bots have the technology to like kind of beat those like locks and those account lockouts or whatnot, but how can the bots, who aren't regular people, obviously, be bypassing those regular people checks and not dealing with lockouts or password changes or random ghost limits on their cards like you and I? And I'm sure some of them are, and we just don't hear about it, but that's absolutely crazy. A random ghost limit? M-Easy says, Schultzy, what time is your flight? Tomorrow, you guys, my flight is just before 9 a.m. leaving Portland. PDX going to Honolulu, and that's about a 6-hour flight. So I'll still be able to live stream tomorrow, no worries. And then if there is no drop tomorrow, you guys, there is going to be a Thursday early morning live stream from Hawaii. My balcony faces out over the ocean, so we're either going to be doing it there on the balcony or we're going to just be doing it down on the beach. If they're going to allow me out there that early or late, I'm not sure what all those COVID laws out there right now. I would assume that, hey, it's a free country. I should be able to go sit on the beach at like 12:31 at night and do a live stream for y'all. So hopefully I can do that. If not, I'll just do it from the balcony in my room. Excited to get to Honolulu, though, and relax for a few days. I'm going to be there from Wednesday to next Monday, November 1st. FTB Pack says, what you doing in Hawaii? Well, my wife, actually, they are sending her there for work. She's doing a couple of things for one of her locations for work, and they're sending her there, so I kind of figured I'd tag along. Just use some points to get a flight. So that's what I did. Cost me very little to actually go because we have miles saved up, so it was pretty cool. Jonathan Amaya says, easier if you have a higher credit limit with the red card. It is very true. If you've got a red card credit card version and you've got it connected, to like an actual line of credit when you apply for a credit card and they give you anything over a few $100. I applied for mine, like 2, 3, 4 years ago. And then I think it was 3 years ago. And then I think they, long before the whole card thing started, and I think they upped the limit after a certain amount of time of having the cards. So they do that. It is nicer for the people that have had the red cards for a while or that have had better credit starting out with the red cards. I understand that that's a frustration for a lot of people. However, the red cards are the only chance, not just the best chance, the only chance that you have of scoring the good stuff on Target.com. So want to be upfront with people about that and make sure that a ton of people are prepared to try and get some sports cards manually from Target.com. Hell yeah. To you, fuck, I'm from Hawaii. DM if you have any questions. I appreciate it, man. Mr. B said, I personally think you should rest on your trip and not stream. LOL, you already do enough. You know what, Mr. B? I understand, and I'm going to be there a while resting, but the cool thing about Hawaii time, Mr. B, is it's like 3 hours behind the Pacific time that I'm already on. So when I'm starting at 3:45, 3:50, it's actually closer to like just before 1 in the morning in Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken, time-wise. So it's actually a lot easier, and it'll kind of be more of like a fun. Schultzy's getting a little tipsy, going late into the evening, early morning, as hopefully we can score some sports cards stream live from Hawaii. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be definitely more of a fun time, and just, hoping we score sports cards, but Schultzy kind of let loose a little bit and doing my normal thing, but I guess a little bit off the cuff with a drink in my hand, so to speak. That'll be fun. Mickey Ellison says, Schultzy, thoughts on Gino's performance the last 2 weeks? West Virginia fans are rooting for him hard. Not surprised with that, but he hasn't really done amazing. I'd call his performances mediocre the last couple of weeks. I don't know about you guys. You gotta score points, especially on Monday Night Football, to win, and they could not against the Saints, man. 13-10 last night. That was a pretty crazy game. The only touchdown, by the way, for Nolans coming from a botched snap and then ended up from Jameis Winston in the end zone as a touchdown pass. Just amazing. Crazy and amazing. Kind of ridiculous as well. Joe from work says, if you get the chance when you're in Hawaii, go to Helena Hawaii Food and get the Pipikalu short ribs. Pipikalu short ribs. Ooh, Kala short ribs. Sorry, I'm tired and I can't read. That sounds yummy. I love me some good short ribs. I cannot wait to eat some good food while I'm in Hawaii. And the good thing is, if you know where to look, you can find it for cheap. So you don't have to go eat at the expensive restaurants. I'm excited to go eat at Jimmy Buffett's restaurant. I believe it's called Margaritaville. Or Cheeseburger in Paradise. I really can't remember which one it is, but there's one 2 blocks from my hotel, 3 blocks from my hotel. I'm staying down on Waikiki Beach, and gonna go there one night, and we're gonna be there during Halloween, so gonna be doing a ton of stuff. Excited. Hoping sports cards drop this week, either today, tomorrow, or Thursday on Target.com. Grass and Smash says, Gino is Gino, reason why he is now a career backup. That's a pretty legit take there. Hank Charles says, any links backloaded today? We have not seen, guys, as we pass 412 here on the West Coast, any links backloaded for products on Target.com. I have every single link updated from the products that dropped last week down in the description below. So check that out if you want those. I would highly recommend you copy and paste that, or really easy way to monitor stuff is use the GOAT search that is in the description, as well as below the become a member link here in the pinned chat comment. So everybody can get at that. No worries. Does anyone know when Xbox X may drop again? Chris and Danny Novak. No, I do not know when that will drop again, my friend. Good morning, Steve. Steve, hey, shoot me an email. Steve, I don't know if you missed our live stream for our first YouTube membership giveaway, but Steve, you won something, my friend. You won something. Congratulations. I tried to respond to a comment that you'd made in a previous video. So send me an email, man. Maybe I honestly can't remember what you won. I apologize at this point, but send me an email and I will get your prize out to you, buddy. Congratulations, Steve. One of the benefits of being a member on Schultzy's Card Pulls, you get an entry into a giveaway every single month. We got a Prism giveaway, Prism level giveaway, and a Refractor level giveaway, which basically it's a Cello pack level giveaway. We gave away a Prism Cello last month, and then also a Premium Blaster Box or better. And we also do like a second and third prize for that as well every single month. Altered Image says Margaritaville in Honolulu is permanently closed. Well, that kind of rains on my parade. Damn. That sucks a lot. All right, I guess I'm going to have to find another restaurant to go to, man. They closed a while back. Well, I did not know. Shoot, I've been looking on Google and looking like they're open, man. Kevin says, are you trading the chocolate milk for alcohol in Hawaii? Yes, I will be doing some kind of Hawaiian drink. My favorite is the lava flow, so I'm going to be doing that. Tessa Liu says, Waikiki is the best for Halloween. I am excited. That's going to be fun. I know that the restrictions are in Hawaii, obviously still affecting restaurants and places of gatherings. However, I think there's going to be a couple of parties going on, so I'm excited. Seeing what we can find. M-Easy says, y'all need to violently smash that like button. I appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, please help me feed two kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Smashing that like button sends this out to more people and helps me do so. I really appreciate that. Rip It Up says, who's handing out thumbs down? I don't know, man. People that, like my neighbors that hate me, or people that don't like my voice, or people that don't like the fact that I'm trying to help people score sports cards manually. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Coach Mojo says, go to Yogurt Story for some ube pancakes, depending on your fancy and what you are craving. Ooh, that sounds yummy. Brian Peak says, Margaritaville isn't that good based on my visit in Key West. Should be good options around. Oh, yeah, there's a ton of amazing other options around. I just went to the one in Vegas and had a really good experience when I was a bit younger, so kind of wanted to check it out in Honolulu, but very sad that it's closed, man. My wifey was actually looking forward to going and been talking about it, and now we know that it is closed. Thank you for the info there. Helps. Having y'all around helps. I appreciate it. So, yeah, you guys, as we were talking about, as we wait for stuff to load on the back end on Target.com, hopefully we can see some stuff. Possibly more Optic this week. Maybe some new... I don't know what other products are coming out at the end of this month. There's a couple, but one being like a baseball mosaic retail baseball, I think is probably going to be coming out in another week or two. So we could possibly see some mosaic baseball retail, maybe a couple other products as well. We saw Bowman Chrome mega boxes. They are Walmart exclusives. We do know that for sure. James asking, are the kitties going to Hawaii too? They are not. They are not. Kitties are not going to Hawaii. They'll be here chilling for the week. And yeah, you guys just going over, checking the monitors. Let me know if you have any procedural questions or more questions about red cards. We went over that a bit earlier. Just trying to make sure you stay logged in on Target.com, all that good stuff. And yeah, guys, the top 3 sports stories of the morning. We kind of already hit on one. Saints squeaking by the Russell Wilson-less Seattle Seahawks, 13-10. Jameis second chance Winston. He fumbled a snap, but turned that into a touchdown pass. Pretty perfect cap to a weird week, in my opinion, for the NFL. That was a weird weekend for sure, you guys. We saw a ton of different stuff that was pretty wacky and not happening very often happening this weekend. 2 different safeties in the NFL. Do y'all see that? 2 different safeties in one weekend? When does that ever happen? Crazy. Then the Patriots scoring over 50. Mac Jones, unbelievable there. Any fees with the red card? I don't believe there are any fees with the red card. Will asking if anything's going to be red card exclusive. Yes, all the good stuff, all the good products here. Let me just kind of show you guys on the release calendar from last week. The Optic Megas, the Optic Blasters, the Optic Fat Packs, the Don Russ hangers, the Don Russ Fat Packs, and the Don Russ football sets were all red card exclusives. And then Mickey Ellison bringing up the next big story, top 3 sports stories in the world of sports. Obviously, we're all here waiting for sports cards, but you know, while we wait, we can acknowledge what's going on around us in the world of sports and why we are all here and why we all love sports cards. And the World Series begins tonight, you guys. Braves taking on the Houston Astros. Houston, of course, trying to shake off that cheetah label. Atlanta appearing in their first World Series since 1999. They got swept by the Yankees. And fun fact, you guys, I don't know if you all knew this, but this is why I come to Schultzy's card polls. I try to get the info for you that nobody else has. I'm sure ESPN probably flashed this up on the screen. at one point early this morning. So I'm not the only one that has this info. But if you didn't know, in 1999, on the way to losing to the Yankees 4-0 in the World Series that year, they actually not only beat the Mets in the championship series, but beat the National League version of the Houston Astros in the NLDS. So pretty quirky that they all of a sudden are facing the Houston Astros again 22 years later as the American League version of the team. And the last time they were in the World Series, they, on the way to that, had to face the Houston Astros, man. The friggin' pesky Astros. And that was a much different Houston Astros team, obviously. I mean, we're talking Jeff Kent, Craig Biggio, the Hall of Famers that led that team for years. Jeff Bagwell. I don't mean Jeff Kent. Sorry, you guys. Obviously, wrong team there. I corrected myself after like 3 seconds. I said Jeff Bagwell. Jeff Bagwell, one of the best players of all time. And one of the funkiest swings, in my opinion, too. Oh, yeah, you guys. And then a lot of people, the Bucks fan, I love this. I love that I feel like I can gauge like sports topics pretty well because not only were people talking about the World Series before I brought it up, I mean, I've literally got notes. And then the next note that I have after the World Series, the first one was Monday Night Football. The second one was the World Series. The third one was the fan who got the ball from Tom Brady's 600th career touchdown pass, giving it back. How cool was that? That fan does have some finesse. Although I will say Mike Evans throwing it up into the crowd on accident because Bruce Arians had to tell him that it was Tom Brady's 600th touchdown pass after the fact. The fact that that happened in the first place allowed for a situation for that fan to be able to get his hands on that ball. But a pretty awesome dude ended up getting his hands on it, you guys. Byron Kennedy. Internal medicine in Florida. That's what his day job is, but he's a Bucks fan. He get handsomely rewarded from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for his act of kindness by giving that ball back. 2 Tom Brady signed jerseys, a Tom Brady signed helmet, another helmet signed by Mike Evans, as well as Evans's game-worn cleats that he will sign. Byron Kennedy will also receive season tickets to the rest of the Bucks games for 2021 and all of 2022, as well as a $1,000 team store credit. Unbelievable. Giving the ball back is not cool at all. Rip it up. Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, would you give the ball back or not? Aaron CT, what's going on, man? Sayre Sports Cards and Collectibles says I'm heading to Martinsville Speedway this weekend. That is awesome, man. Yeah, STDTB says 2 Brady's, 1 Evans signed jersey, season tickets for this and next year. I'd give it back too. I mean, that's the thing, you guys. They're going to take care of him. And it's kind of the conversation that you have. This is very similar to what happens in baseball a lot. And we've seen it with the Alex Rodriguez home runs, the Barry Bonds home runs, all those, not just for those guys, but those are big ones that we've seen on like ESPN where, you know, the person that caught the home run is hustled off by security really quickly. But anytime that a player hits an iconic home run or a career marking or milestone home run, you try to get that back for him. And usually you get a jersey, you get something like that. So the fact that Tom Brady, I'd heard that like the dude maybe wanted a round of golf with Tom Brady, and I thought maybe he got that, which I think would be awesome if that were a thing, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think during the season, I mean, maybe you could squeeze around a golf in with that guy, but Tom Brady's probably focused on other stuff. Maybe he could get that later in the offseason. But to get all that he got from the Buccaneers is pretty crazy. Yummy Oslo says $500,000 would have been my starting price for the ball. See, oh man, there are just some things that you got to do for the good of the game and for the good of the sport. And giving the GOAT his 600th touchdown pass back. And I am not a Tom Brady fan, but I got to call him the GOAT. Giving him his 600th, whether it be a flat or an inflated ball. Sorry, I'm going to make the joke. I'm going to make the joke about the ball gate scandal that happened in New England. it's probably better for the game if you just give it back to him. Danny O'Donohue says that's life-changing money for some people. Very true. Jeremy Buckley says Brady chipped in 1 Bitcoin to the guy. Did he really? That'd be hilarious if so. That'd be hilarious if so. Tom Brady would have had to take me golfing, otherwise he wouldn't have gotten the ball back. See, I would have like demanded an off-season golfing trip be added to that. And guys, I did see somebody just talking about Prestige football hangers going live on Target.com. Let's check that out. Haven't seen anything on the back end, guys, for my monitors or anything like that, or Target.com having stuff appearing on the front end in search. But who knows? Still showing sold out on my end, unfortunately, you guys. Let's maybe click on the item and see if it's any different. Prestige football hangers. Hangers or bangers? Nope, sold out. Those were in stock for a bit, and it kind of makes me sad that like I didn't just buy some while they were sitting up on Target.com. BNEP, what's the latest that stuff has ever loaded? Well, you guys, we have the hot zone that goes until 4:50, and that's a good time to cut it off because I have not seen anything loading after 4:50 as far as like the start of a drop. We've had products loading until 5:30 when a drop happens, but when a drop, you're talking about just loading on the back end to start. Stuff is loaded anytime from about 3:45 up to about 4:50 Pacific time. And, of course, that's 6:45 to 7:50 East Coast time. So as late as 6:50 Central, 5:50 Mountain time. Tuas has got a notification that it's in stock. Well, guys, let's get our hands on some Prestige hangers, huh? Maybe we'll keep refreshing. It says sold out. Notify me when it's back. So maybe they did just kind of flip it in and out of stock really quick. Maybe some items all at the same time went in and out of stock. That happens for sure at times. Aaron CT says, Schultzy, thoughts on the rumor that Target will not drop this week? Yeah, I've heard that. And I've also heard that some cook groups are saying on Discord and other connections that they have to Target.com are saying that there will be a drop. So, I mean, I would trust my sources saying the first thing that I heard, which was that there isn't going to be a drop. However, you just never can be too sure. I'm going to be here. We're going to be having fun. I'm going to be here hoping for a Target.com drop. And you know what, you guys? If some people don't think that there's going to be a drop and we happen to be up for one, or Target happens to switch it up, or we hear a rumor that they're going to skip a week and we're all here and we're waiting, guess who has the best chance to score some of those first amounts of really good releases of sports cards? Me and all of you. So I think it's advantageous. If you need to sleep in. If you guys take care of yourself, take care of your health. But if you are trying to score sports cards, and you love hanging out, check back on in every single week. I will be here, you guys. And Gio, I'm sorry, I do not know when the PS5 is dropping on Target Online. It was just fairly random that a couple of weeks ago that they dropped right on that Wednesday, and Target decided to switch it up, and instead of doing a card drop that week, they just did a console drop that Wednesday. That was a wacky one. That was a wacky one for sure. Aaron CT says, I think it's possible to have them go every other week for bigger drops, more manual scores. It's possible, Aaron, and if they do add, I think that they will be going to a little bit less product online because they're going to have to if they add the premium products back in stores. It just depends. So we still have kind of yet to see what Target's going to do on that end. Orlando Ramos says, this guy don't talk about PS5's wrong channel. I mean, last Wednesday that they did drop it, the Wednesday before last. It really is just kind of what's happening that morning. So I kind of molded into trying to help people score some consoles before I got off the live stream. Brian says, really, 10 thumbs down, you need to be blocked. No worries, Brian, man. You know what? It's okay. I can't really sit there and focus on the dislikes. So they get to me, yes, They always do. I always wonder why people dislike what I'm doing. Especially somebody like me who's, kind of having a little trouble getting a gig in the sports radio world. Like, hey, I've got like a decade plus of radio experience. I've produced a syndicated show. It's gone on to be one of the highest rated shows for its syndication network and getting some of the most listeners out of all their shows, and a bunch of other things that I've done in the business that I don't really want to go over and read my resume to y'all. So it's just like, dang, give me a shot. Give me a shot, man. What does Bill Burr say? We're all out here eating S. All right? Just try to make it so people can't do anything but stand up and clap for you and notice you over and over and over again at the end of every set. And that goes for anything you're doing, you guys. Not just like stand-up comedy or radio or anything like that. A little motivation for y'all this morning. V. Beaker says, please tell us what you did to avoid getting locked out. V. Beaker, for the second time, I called customer service. I'd called customer service the Tuesday before last Wednesday's drop, and they said that they would fix my account. I called them the next day, and they had told me they saw the high number of lockouts on my account, so that what they did, they had me reset my password again, but it was kind of a prompt from them, so I think maybe they did like a reset on my account. I'm hoping. But you're just going to have to tell them that, like, you are a real person, that you do not know why you're getting locked out over and over and over again. It was super frustrating. It happened to me 3 times. So that's essentially what I did to hopefully avoid getting locked out. And I'm not quite sure. The Amazing Card Ninja says, Schultzy, apply here in West Palm. ESPN Radio is hiring. I can get you in there. I know you're far, but it's 2021. Remote work is the jam. Amazing Card Ninja, my wifey and I would move to West Palm Beach in a moment. We love the beach. We would move there in a moment. Bro, if you're serious, I got a nice resume. I got a website with all my air checks and everything. I will send that guy's way, man. If you could actually get me in there, if I got a connection that could actually get me in there, that would be awesome, man. Shoot me an email. I would love to do that. Backyard GoPro says cards might drop this week or they might not drop. We don't know. That's pretty true. I got locked out for the first time last week. Sean George says, should I be worried? Just keep an eye on it when you're trying to get these products. A lot of times when you log in initially in the morning, and then they put the links up on the back end, and then you're going to click on one is when you get locked out kind of before the products drop, and that's okay. That's usually kind of like an indicator that we are definitely having a drop, and get ready because products are coming soon. It sucks when that happens in the middle of the drop and when you're trying to score the product that you've got like a couple of minutes for Donruss Optic Basketball, for instance, to score. So that's what was happening to me. However, if you can have that happen beforehand, then you're okay. So yeah, Matrix Sports Cards flexing his success and selling money, his Facebook group. I'm not surprised, man. Not surprised. Matrix being a D-bag. Sean George says, I got locked out for the first time last week. Should I be worried? Oh, sorry, I already answered that question. I did see Sean T. Thomas. That's what I wanted to answer. Does anyone know why cart jacks occur? I don't get locked out. I just always get errors at checkout. You know, Sean T., that's something that's a little more common and understandable because there are so many people going for one product at once. And that happens because for you, it sounds like if that's happening repeatedly, your internet might not be as fast as somebody that's getting in quicker initially. And we're talking half a second faster. So I don't know, Sean, are you using 5G internet? What's your Wi-Fi? Are you using that? Are you using your phone internet? Are you using the app? Are you using a mobile browser? Are you using a PC browser? It kind of depends. It all kind of depends. SoCal Sports Highlights just simply says links. And to that response, I simply say below in description. Below in description. That is my response. Tyler says, looks like they are reloading old product from my monitor. The Amazing Card Ninja says, Schultzy, I'm serious. Are you on Insta? I'll send you a link through Good Karma Brands. I am on Insta, man. Yeah, it's just Schultzy's card pulls, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you. I got my stuff together. Yeah, I got a bang up resume, and I got some good air checks. And a website that shows exactly what I can offer to a sports radio station. So I appreciate that, man. Blaze One Sports is high prices. Stop the flippers. There are cards every time I thought that was an I, but that's an exclamation point. High prices. Stop the flippers. There's cards there every time. Flippers don't buy them all, and the resale is low, is what Blaze One Sports says. Yes, that seems to be truer with Walmart kind of taking some of the flipper profits back from people. Pretty crazy what they've been doing, charging for the Bowman Mega Boxes, you guys, for the Bowman Chrome Megas, I've seen anywhere from $40. Somebody said $80. I got mine for $50. It kind of just depends on what the Walmart in particular in your location wants to do pricing-wise. So some are pricing it a bit higher than others, and Myers are going even worse. And Myers have the same stuff as Walmart's do because they are MJ Holdings. Vendor... I can't even think of the word. Vendor... vendees. So basically, they both get the same kinds of stuff from MJ Holdings. Kevin says, who would listen to Schultz if you got a radio show? Show of hands. I appreciate you, Kevin. Appreciate you so much, Kevin. Got my damaged optic box from Target Sunday. Was going to return it. I'm glad I didn't. Got a purple shock LaMelo. Eric, congratulations, man. That's huge. Rip It Up says, okay, I'm calling it back to bed. Yeah, you guys, we got less than 15 minutes. Less than 15 minutes left of the hot zone. And I am okay. Brad, Sub Esquire says no flipping equals no fun. I'm okay, you guys. If you want to buy a couple of boxes and then you throw one online to pay for the other that you want to rip, that's great. But it's the people that clear up the shelves and then make prices just exorbitantly high and boxes unavailable for everybody else. That's the problem that I have with the entire flipping system. Beat Boof says, Optic Mega's worth buying. I would say so if you can get your hands on them at retail, man. Absolutely. Matthew says $39.99 for Bowman Chrome at Myers this past weekend. That's not too shabby. $40. $40 ain't bad. Brad says, what happened to my Target favorites? Anyone else's disappear? And that is why I do not trust Target favorites, you guys. I do not trust Target favorites at all. Memo says distributor. Thank you. That is the word that I was looking for. Nick Vol says vendees. Yeah, it's early. It's early on the West Coast. My brain just not... That last cog wasn't quite starting to turn yet. Trying to form that sentence. Oh, man. E-Man says, hey, Schultz, can you explain what happened with JR and Maketrix again? I wanted to hear it, but got caught at the tail end of what you were saying that week and couldn't find it when I went back. Yeah, I'll try to say it really quickly. So JR, nothing sleazy with him. He basically took some time off for school and has dropped the whole YouTube thing to do school, an internship, a job, and I believe a chance at being like a college tennis player, which is awesome. So good for JR. And in kind of a frenzy when he had to go one morning when there was a drop, he recommended Matrix to people that were watching him. Go and watch that group, and they could go cop sports cards just like he was helping them do. And for about a month, maybe just over that, they were actually going beyond what JR and I did or do right now, just offering the links from the searches up for people. They were offering monitor technology and Discords, which is usually people pay anywhere from $30 to $50 a month for that. They were offering that up for free. And people were loving it and were scoring a lot of sports cards manually, and they actually acted like they cared. But it was all a bait and switch, and after a month, they basically cut people out of the Discord and tried to take people's money. And a bunch of people hated what they did. I thought it was pretty sleazy myself, and here y'all are, basically. So Donald Ross says, so you don't like capitalism? No, Donald, see, and that's such a... Donald, that's... You know what? Don't get me started on that, brother. Don't get me started. That's not capitalism. Supply and demand is capitalism. Hoarding and price gouging is not capitalism. Do not go there with me, brother. Do not go there with me. There are ways to do business, and there are companies that have done that, like, in a big way, and it's unethical when they do it, and buying up products on a shelf and then reselling them on a secondary market and creating an artificial scarcity, that's not capitalism. That's hoarding and price gouging. And anybody that considers themselves an entrepreneur that goes out just to buy products to resell, and I'm not talking like people that do that for like eBay and actually go through sifting through the Goodwill stuff and finding the really good stuff to resell or going to garage sales and whatnot. It's ridiculous if you're going up buying one item that you know nothing about or care about other than it's going to make you money, and then I'm just going to resell it. I've seen people doing that for years on YouTube with certain items, and it pissed me off. I can't stand when one dude... God, it was like 4 years ago. One dude drove to Walmarts all over the state, and I think the state or two next to him to buy up a certain Monopoly game. And he made like $50 per Monopoly game, all because of the scarcity that he created. And him and probably maybe 50 to 100 other people in this country created. That's not capitalism, man. That's not capitalism at all. Absolutely not. Christopher Coring says, chill out. No, I hate that argument, man. It's not supply and demand. There's a difference. It is hoarding and price gouging. Hoarding and price gouging is what's been going on in the hobby, all right? It is not supply and demand. That's a capitalism issue. That's BS. Coach Mojo says, had he known, he would have most likely shifted his viewers to Schultzy. Yeah, that's the thing. JR did not really know what Matrix was doing and what was going on or what they planned. They're not friends. They're not anything. They've never met in person. It was just somebody else that, you know, Matrix was doing kind of this thing similar to what JR was, but a step up with the monitors. So JR threw his viewers. Whoops, I almost knocked down one of my lights. JR threw his viewers over to him, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of frustrating because I was doing the streams at the same time around then, and he could have thrown his viewers to me, but he didn't, you know, but I guess I ended up getting them all anyways, but it just sucks, man, because it's like story of my life. I always have to fight through something, you know, a wall, trying to bust through somebody else. Rip It Up says, uh-oh, you hit a nerve with Schultzy. Yeah, Steve says, I think he hit a nerve. Talk that talk. Yeah, it is so frustrating to see that, you guys. Unregulated capitalism is not good. Brad Selden Esquire said. Danny O'Donohue says, you cool with selling the singles at a crazy price out of those boxes? I mean, the market is what it is for singles. It always has been. You've heard me talk about the market for singles right now. I think the way that people are paying for singles and the way that singles are on the market price-wise right now is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, when you're seeing one or two players maybe have some value, for instance, out of this last NBA class, LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards are pretty much the only two rookies from Optic that are actually worth anything over $10 to $15, right? James Weissman, the next tier down, and then below that, you got guys like Obi Toppin, Tyrese Halliburton, others as well that should be like a $10 plus rookie card, because you figure in any world where you've got guys making first NBA all-team as a rookie like Tyrese Halliburton did, their rookie card's going to be selling for quite a bit. At least $10 at the minimum, you think? You would think so, right? In a perfect world, but LaMelo Balls are the high point. Then you go down to Anthony Edwards a little bit, and LaMelo Balls are selling for what, like $30 to $40 a rated rookie right now from Optic. Ants are like 15 to 20, probably closer to 15 right now. Weissmans are below that, and then you got everybody else like at like $4 to $8. The market for singles is weird. Brian Lawhorn says, sick the cats on him, LOL. Kevin Scott says, I think you should apply for Treasury Secretary, Schultzy. Oh, man, politics suck. Yeah, Robert Miles says the LCSs send them up to buy up products. Some of them are doing that. You know, you got to find a good LCS that's not, and there is one near me that does not, they don't have retail. They don't accept retail from people because they don't know where it's been. They don't know if they like went home and resealed or whatever, which I think is an absolutely smart practice. And I think it protects people in the hobby. And I wish that more shops would do that. But instead you've got local card shops and including the ones with allocations. The local card shops that have had allocations for years, some of them are also the ones that are selling this way marked up over eBay prices, retail price, or above retail price, as well as like some of those other card shops that are trying to start up without their hobby allocations. So it's not just those like shops that are newer, it's established shops as well. And it drives the price up for everybody. And it drives the access to the hobby away. It sucks. Jackson asking if Optic Basketball is dropping. Well, we got about 4 minutes left in the hot zone, you guys. I unfortunately, unless we get some stuff loading on the back end in the next couple of minutes or so, I don't think that we are going to see anything on Target.com as far as sports cards this morning. But I'll hang here until about 5:05, 5:10, just in case. And we'll talk sports cards. We'll talk sports card news. We'll talk anything else in the hobby and whatever else you all have on your minds. Mac Jones Blue Press Proof Don Russ going for $50. Shaking my head. Yamayas, that makes sense, those press proofs. And that is one thing. You compare the LaMelo Ball and the Anthony Edwards to like quarterbacks in the NFL. That is one thing price-wise with the NFL cards is that all of the quarterbacks are chase cards and that's it. Why isn't a Justin Jefferson card worth more? I mean, why aren't you even go and look at like Hall of Famers on the defensive side of the ball? Their PSA 10s aren't going for a lot. Why is that? You just wonder if the market's ever going to turn around at one point. Even out, so to speak. Rip It Up says there's a certain shop locally that have allocations and buy up retail from literally one person. That one person is single-handedly cornering the market in the Portland metro area. Rip It Up, you should send me a DM because I think I know who that person is. And I think I know what shop you're talking about. And that's absolutely ridiculous, man. That sucks. Tim Morgan says millionaires opening up card shops in Vegas, etc., is driving the market up the limit due to cash. Yeah, cash coming in, you guys. People trying to make their money. It's almost what you saw. Sorry, my voice cracking a little bit. It's almost what you saw like with the cannabis industry when some states legalized it. Remember on the news, you saw the copious amounts of money being talked about being invested into the cannabis industry. That's happening right now with the sports card industry. And people are starting these stores left and right. And I'm not trying to insult any of y'all. People are starting YouTube channels and trying to start like collector's stores left and right. And they're popping up now more and more and more. And what bugs me, I love card shows, you guys, but, and maybe call me out if you think that I'm a little crazy, but if every single dude at a card show at each table that hands you a card that says they have a collectible store actually had a collectible store, then maybe prices would be a bit better around the hobby. But I'm kind of sick and tired of every single person trying to like have this little side thing. Like, oh, hey, we got this business on the side where it's a collectible store, but really it's just an eBay front. Like, just stop. Like, I'm not going to buy from you the next time that I'm thinking of like a collectible toy or a comic book that I want. I'm going to go on Mercari, on eBay, and on 2 other apps like everybody else and price compare. Because you're not going to give me a better price than that, are you? Probably not. You're in it to make money. So what the hell are you doing handing me your card? I can't stand that. Mickey Ellis says the same could be said for baseball. Pitchers aren't as valued as hitters in the hobby. It's very true. Although after his performance the other night to get the Astros into the World Series, I think the Luis Garcia rookie pitcher cards, autos-wise, are actually going up. Pretty funny to see how volatile the market is and how one performance can make people go buy a card or go sell a card. That alone should tell you how stupid the sports card price market is right now. All right, you guys, we have officially hit the end of the hot zone here on Schultzy's card pulls. 4:50 Pacific time, 7:50 Eastern time, 6:50 Central, 5:50 Mountain time. Does not look like there's going to be a restock officially today on Target.com, you guys. No fun there. But we can always hope for tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back Thursday as well. And I'll be hanging out for probably another 15 minutes or so here today. So don't worry. So don't go anywhere. And if you are at this point calling it because officially ending the hot zone time, make sure you smash that like button on your way out. You guys really appreciate it. Orlando says, people are waiting outside my Target by 3 a.m. No way I got a chance. They're waiting outside your Target at 3 a.m.? What, were they doing that because of the celebrations like premium ETBs? Brian Lawhorn says, Schultzy, sounds like you do need a trip. I mean, a little bit. Probably a little bit. I won't deny that. Lions will get their first win this week. Oh, yeah, Brian, yeah. You actually remind me. I do have my upset and lock of the week, you guys. And my upset of the week, Brian, you remind me, I think it is going to be the Lions because they are underdogs at home against the Eagles. They are going to get their first win of the season. They are underdogs to the Philadelphia Eagles. Go pick that game if you want to win some money. My guaranteed upset of the week. The Lions almost beat the Rams last week, you guys. And it's why I think that they're finally going to take care of business this weekend and get on over the Eagles at home for their first win. And then my lock of the week, and this is kind of a pick and choose, you guys. These are the two games that I thought were they were both kind of even in my mind as far as locks go. Dallas on the road covering the 2.5-point spread against the Vikings, or the Titans beating the Colts, and that's basically a pick 'em. So that's my lock, and that's my upset of the week in the NFL for y'all. Xbox X is now in Targets, but they don't tell you ahead of time, says Sports Card Animal. Ooh, that's cool. That sounds good. Jonathan Beeman says, at first your voice annoyed me, but you're actually pretty cool to listen to. Thanks for doing what you do. Got 5 blasters last week and got a Silver Edwards GG. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Jonathan, I appreciate you, man. I'm sorry my voice annoyed you at first. I'm glad that you gave me a chance. Seriously, that's kind of the same thing Jim Rome says. If you don't like me, I ask you, if you don't like my voice, if you don't like what I'm doing, give me a week or two, okay? And if you can accurately judge me, after a week or two of hearing pretty much, how I'm sounding on a good day, probably how I'm sounding on a bad day, what my takes are, what my thoughts are, what my general opinions are of things. If you don't like my style after a couple weeks, that's fine. But at least give me a couple weeks. I appreciate that. One guy in town followed the vendor to all 6 Targets and got all of the premium collections for Pokemon, says E-Man. And that vendor allowed him to do that? See, our local vendor would have called the cops on the dude following him, or like one guy I know, he told me personally, he had to get up in his face. And the guy was kind of being a dick back, but the vendor had to stand up for himself because, his safety is at risk. That's ridiculous. Can't have that kind of stuff happen. Marie Montgomery says, Schultz, you hit the Portland food trucks downtown often. Yes, when I worked downtown, I used to. I haven't lately, but yeah, I love the food trucks downtown. Absolutely. Sell Jamar Chase now, says Goodfella 1422. If he turns into Randy Moss, it's comparable. You can buy a Moss rookie now for under 200. So long-term says not financial gain if that is your goal. Yeah, that's very true, you guys. Jamar Chase probably at a peak. If you have like a PSA 10 of Jamar Chase, probably unload that right now. The amazing card ninja says Schultzy is good peoples. I appreciate you, man. Tojo says Rome is the worst. Well, Rome is, you know what, you guys? Rome is one of the shining examples to be a talk show host. Not just for sports, but he's one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid sports guy in the format, and one of the highest paid guys overall in radio. Lost my Damned. You should be a radio talk show guy. You definitely have that morning talk show vibe. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been on radio for 10 years, so I think it's just hard not to like be doing a radio show when I'm on. And speaking of this, you guys, you're all going to laugh at me here. This is funny. This is how bad I want to be a sports radio host. Y'all see this? This is a signed picture of Jim Rome that I got from my station that I used to work at in downtown Portland when he came to Portland back in the day. A signed picture of Jim Rome. You got to hate him. Some people love him. I like him. Some people don't agree with his style. But the man revolutionized after WFAN in New York City, revolutionized sports talk radio. Created as a format. Jim Rome helped spread it out and bring it to everybody. Game Day Legends says, have a great day, Schultzy. See you tomorrow. Heck yeah, Game Day Legends. I will be on streaming before. I got a flight late morning tomorrow to Hawaii, but I will be on streaming before I leave. Yeah, Orlando says he needs to go back to sleep. Good luck, man. Fins up, says Brad Selden, Esquire. Rome is a legend, LOL. No drop today. Wednesday has been the money day lately, says CQBreaks. Keep the hobby alive. Our Walmart fired the MJ holding vendor because she was calling a guy at each stop. Now Walmart employees stock. You know, thankfully that the Walmart actually stepped in and did that. Good for them. Good for them, because some vendors are doing that and it's not happening at all. Ridiculous. Amazing Card Ninja says, we caught the vendor backdooring at Walmart, took pictures and all. He said he didn't give a crap because it was his last day, but I sent all the info to Anderson. See, that's just BS, man. And if it's his last day, I'm not really advocating violence, but man, it would have popped up in my mind to consider knocking that dude out. It's like, oh, it's your last day, huh? Well, then I'm going to make your last day a hell of a lot harder than it should be. Here you go, bro. God. Ridiculous. Thank you, Chris Thornton. Says, solid, genuine dude. Enjoy your content. I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much, man. Eric Bunn says, when he called Chris Everett, or Everett Chris, he lost it. You can call me Chris one more time, and we could take a station break, but I'll tell you what, if you call me Chris one more time, then we're going to have a problem. Well, I bet I do. Chris? Oh, man. And Jim Rome even said that was probably one of the biggest mistakes and regrets early in his career, was pushing that. He shouldn't have pushed that, although Jim Everett going across the table wasn't a great look either. You wonder how Jim Rome didn't get more hurt falling back in that chair. I watch that clip every time, and I see him falling back like that, and I'm like, how did he not, like, smack his head or something like that? Keep the hobby alive says, I pulled a LaMelo checkerboard out of a blaster Friday. Congratulations, man. Keep the hobby alive. That is awesome, buddy. Congrats. That's a huge LaMelo parallel. What is that, like $150, $200 one at this point? Calibre Breaks says, I've used StockX for cards several times. Just wait to pay the price you want. Legit. That's not a bad idea, man. Not a bad idea at all. I actually would advocate doing that if you don't mind spending a little bit over retail. But it's the people, and I've told this story a few times, but it's the people like the mom that was buying cards for her son last Christmas. And I'm talking like Prism blaster boxes for football at $120 to $150, and Hoops premium hangers for like $50 to $70, which those were way overpriced. They overprinted the hell out of them. So, when the people coming into the hobby, new and fresh, don't really know what prices they're supposed to be paying, it just frustrates the hell out of me. So that's one reason why I'm doing what I do. And it's one reason why, I advocate trying to get these products so hard at retail price and not paying so far above retail. You don't have to. Matthew Garner, thank you for the great channel on a $3 super chat. Matthew, thank you so much, man. Dude, that is too kind of you. Going into your wallet. Thank you so much. Matthew Garner, $3 super chat. Thank you, Matthew. Warms my heart, man. Warms my heart a lot. Brett, see, that is funny. I have a Jim Everett used table piece 1 of 1. Ah. That's fantastic. I appreciate that, man. Lewis says, thanks for all that StockX info. Absolutely. No, StockX is great. Oxneem805 says, why is StockX whack? You just say some negativity without validating it. Oh, some people in the chat are saying that StockX is whack. It's like, I actually don't mind it. It's verified product. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's a decent way to get product because it's going to be sealed and you're not going to get scammed. Unfortunately, on eBay, on Mercari, you still fall potential to get scammed and not actually be protected. Although eBay usually protects the buyers a lot more than the sellers in most cases. Steve says, a bunch of haters in this chat this morning. I think people are just mad because we're not getting sports cards. Honestly, that's what I think it is. All right, you guys, 5:02 West Coast time, 8:02 East Coast time. Yeah, I'm going to hang for another 3 minutes or so, you guys, and then I'm going to get the heck on out of here. Try to get some sleep. And got some packing to do before tomorrow. Oh, keep the hobby alive. $2 for a super chat. Thank you so much. Keep the hobby alive. For a coffee, safe travels tomorrow, man. Thank you. Keep the hobby alive. I appreciate that a lot. Coach Mojo says, enjoy your trip, Schultzy. Hope you hit cards on the island and on the beach during a drop. Take it easy and have a good one. Hit you up on Discord if you want more intel on food and cards. Will do, Coach Mojo. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Will do, man. Yeah, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes. Make sure that y'all hit that like button for me on your way out. If you haven't, thank you. Unfortunately, no drop for sports cards today on Target.com. But you know what? We could have one tomorrow, or we could have another week skipped. We just don't know. We're hearing that we could possibly have another week that's skipped, but then a bunch of people jumping in saying, hey, my cook group, my Discord group actually says that there could be a stock this week. So who knows? I'm going to be here regardless, you guys. And if there's not a stock, that's great. We all hang out, and hopefully we can exchange some knowledge and some information, and you can get any burning questions that you have answered. I know that I answered some questions about the red card this morning, about trying to not get cart jacked, which unfortunately isn't necessarily avoidable unless you're using some of the fastest internet out there, and you are on the fastest browser that you can find, either on your phone or on your PC. And talked about logging in and stuff as well. Brad Selden, Godspeed JS, thank you so much. Thank you, Esquire. I appreciate that, Brad. TJ Black says, hit Paula's card shop in Honolulu when you're there. Well worth the conversation with the owner to see all the cool product. Absolutely. I'm excited. I'm going to try and shoot some video of those local card shops there and report back on my experience and hopefully have a nice, fun rip on the beach to celebrate my 10,000 subscriber milestone. And I do have to announce, guys, I am announcing a 10,000 subscriber giveaway soon. I am still doing that, so don't you worry. We'll be giving away a lot of cool stuff here soon. As well as in the Discord, we're giving away a select basketball hanger for hitting 500. 500 members in the Discord. Somebody's going to get a free select hanger, and I'm going to send that to you sealed. So that'll be fun for sure. The Four Horsemen says, have a good vacation, Sarge. Thank you so much, man. Sergeant Schultz. And yeah, we can talk Nixon. I'm gonna put a note down about that because I did want to talk about that this morning, but I didn't get to it. Is eBay dying? Singles are usually easily sold on the weekend. Past weekend, nothing. Changes in their search issues. PWCC Exodus. I've had the same issues, and I've seen the same kind of drop-off, not only in my sales, but even in the views of sports cards that I put up for sale. Super weird, so we can talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Let you all get some sleep. I know you all have stuff to do for your day. Go take care of your spouses, your husbands, your wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, kids, or yourself. Go to school, go to work, go back to bed, whatever you're going to do. But I appreciate all of you. See you tomorrow, CyberX. M-Easy. Have a blessed day. Back at you, man. Oh, I'm going to have that banana daiquiri, brother. I'm going to have that. I'm going to have some lava flow going on. It's going to be great. Thanks again to everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Bright and early. Oh, my goodness. Hopefully we get a drop from Target.com this week. Hoping. Thanks again for your support, everybody. I appreciate you being here so early in the morning. Go get some rest or go take care of what you got to do today. Go make that money. Go make that bread. Hopefully we can spend it on some sports cards tomorrow. All right, everyone. Thanks again. Schultzy's card pulls out.